I can possibly tell you how much I appreciate the willingness of so many people to embarrass themselves by saying such outrageous things about me. The knowledgeable among you will know that this has all been completely over the top. Others of you should have known that it was all given away when I was compared with Willie Nelson. Maybe the best thing I can do is, I don't want, enough has been said about me, I won't take a lot of time, I'll just try to give you a sense of how it all looks from inside here where I live. And I can do that best maybe by briefly telling you about two recurring bad dreams that I used to have until very recently. And first of those dreams, I'm in my early years of teaching here. Married, I met my wife here, and we got married after I came here. I have a small child. But I haven't finished my dissertation. And so I spent all my time trying to figure out how to get back to Harvard so I can finish it, and I finally succeed in doing that. And there I am, I have a year to finish my dissertation, and I'm still having a hard time doing it. I once told that dream to Bob Luskin. And he said, well, I have that dream all the time. Which made me wonder if this is a common affliction of people in academic life. Now, in my case, the dream had a factual basis. I didn't, in fact, finish my dissertation until I was in my first year of teaching at Duke before I came here. And I did, in fact, go back to Harvard for a year after I'd been here for a while. I went back to Harvard not to finish my dissertation, but because I had a research fellowship. Now, Bob and I agreed that the only good thing about that dream is that it makes you feel so good when you wake up and you realize that actually you did finish your dissertation. But the point of the story is that even though I knew I did finish my actual dissertation and had my degree, I never felt as though I had actually done it. And so I spent the year at Harvard beginning the process of trying to get the graduate education that I thought I didn't have. So I threw away the research project and read lots of books. Then I had to come back. And so I was teaching, and what could I do? So one of the things I did was exploit my students. I assigned them books that I thought I needed to read, and I assigned them problems to work on that I didn't know the answer to, and I thought maybe they could help me think about. And the only other thing I could think of to do is try to get the department to hire a lot of people who could teach me the things I didn't learn at Harvard. So I made myself unpopular by agitating for the recruitment of people that I thought would be useful to me. And so one of the things I might do here is, I've been here a long time, most of the recent arrivals, I have a different sense of the UT government department from the one you have. I have a sense of the extended government department. Those are the people who once were here, in addition to people now here, once were here but are no longer here. And many of them were my teachers. So I just mentioned some of them. Going back to the beginning. Norman Frog, Joe Oppenheimer, Warren Young, Sam Popkin. Sam's wife, Susan Short, was here because she's Sam's wife, but the department wouldn't hire her. So they left and went to San Diego. Bill Galston, who's now a prominent pundit. Tom Schwartz, Norman Schofield, Mel Hinnick, Peter Ordershow. These are all people to me who are still actually members of the government department. And at one point I had the fantasy of hiring yet another tutor for myself. And his name was Jim Farron. And that, of course, was a crazy idea. Because when Jim finished graduate school, every department in the country wanted to hire him. But I did get to meet him while he was here interviewing for a job, and I followed him ever since. I read everything he's written before. The interesting thing about Jim is that he doesn't think he has to publish everything he writes. So if you want to read what Jim writes, you have to read not only his published work, but his unpublished work. Jim is a rare, special person. He's one of the seminal figures in the field. And he is one of the people who helped me figure out, actually, how eventually to finish my dissertation. So that brings me to the second dream. In the second dream, I'm sitting in a room that looks very much like this one. The chairs are arranged like this, facing the podium. And somebody's standing at the podium, and everyone is waiting while that person announces the recipient of an award. And I'm sitting in the audience. And I'm elated to hear my name called out. And so I get up and approach the podium to receive this award. And I look out at the audience, and I see somebody else approaching the podium. And that's when I realized with a sinking feeling that I misunderstood the name I was being called. And it's the person who's approaching the podium that's actually the recipient of the award. And my problem is to explain why I'm standing next to them. As I've dreamed many times, and at that point I invariably woke up. And I never figured out how I could escape that dilemma. And sitting here today makes me think I have been in that dream. And now I think I know the ending of it. The ending of it is the name that was actually called is the name of Jim Ferry. But he saw my predicament and was gracious enough to pretend as though his business in approaching the podium was actually to explain the merits of what I had done. It's totally unexpected that Jim would agree to come here and do this. It means more to me than I can say. And I appreciate it deeply. So the message I have to give here is, I don't deserve the remarks that have been made, but I did finish my dissertation. And so now, after 45 years, I'm going to graduate. So I invite you to join me in some cake and we can celebrate my graduation. I thank this institution for allowing me to spend 45 years here as a student.